friends, welcome back. For today's video, I'm doing a set of press-ons. We are full steam ahead with Valentine's Day designs. I'm really excited about this one. I've sort of been playing around with the sketch, which looks like this. I just love it so much. TBH, I did have to practice just to make sure that that's what I wanted to do. The only thing that I'm switching up is the center of the nail. I do have like an airbrush kind of effect. I did it in white, but I kind of want to play around with layering pigment powders instead of the airbrush, just for those of you who may not have an airbrush in your collection. I kind of want to show you how you can do it with just your regular pigment palettes. So my idea for this is to add a layer of the white pigment, and then on top of that, I'll add some pink. I don't know, either pink or red. We'll see. We'll see. I'm very much inspired by cherries and chocolate for this design. So that's kind of like the vibe that I'm going for. So yeah, we're going to be sculpting some things. We're going to be using our mold for those little wings on the hearts. And then we're going to be painting some cute little faces on the hearts and cherries. And it's gonna be great. I already know it. I already feel it. I'm also thinking maybe adding like some glitter flakes. We'll go through all of that together. Okay. So if you want to hang out with me for a little bit and check out how I do this press-on set, then I hope that you'll keep on watching. There we go. I turn my ring light off whenever I'm doing the intros just because it's annoying to see, but we have to turn it back on whenever I start working. We need some light up in this piece. So for this press-on set, I'm going to start off with some cover tips, of course. These are my Una Gellas XXL, I think, square tips. So I'm just going to pull out my sizes. I currently have my nails done on my actual hands, so I can't really double check. So hopefully they fit. Gosh darn, the 3s and the 4s are kind of killing me. Oh my gosh, I finished all the 3s. Look at how much I have left of all the other ones. Dude. Oh, no. I got the idea off of Canva clip art. They have these really cute graphics that, I don't know, I wanted to put them on my nails. Y'all, it's been so reeking cold here in Chicago. It's ridiculous. I just cannot with this cold weather. We've had super low temperatures, like below 0 temperatures. Oh God. Like your skin just freaking hurts as soon as you step outside. Oh my gosh. I was watching the forecast a couple days ago and I saw that people in Duluth, Minnesota were dealing with almost 50 below 0 temperatures. I can't even imagine. Okie dokie. So I've got my press-ons on the stands. What I'm going to do now is basically remove the shine off of all of these with a buffer. I'm going to dust them off, wipe them clean with isopropyl alcohol, and then we'll be ready for the actual gel application. So be right back. I'm going to speed you through that. Alrighty, so the tips have been prepped. Now we're going to get to the design. For this set, I'm going to add my base color first to all of these. And luckily for me, I only picked one base color, which is this one. This gel comes from the It's Lit collection, which is back here. You can see it right there. And it's this really delicious looking kind of like chocolatey brown, dark chocolate brown, and that is what I'm going to be using for the base color. I'm actually going to be doing 3 coats because these are syrup gels, therefore they are not opaque, so you do have to build up the color I really like building up the color on these because I kind of feel like there's more depth to these bases, if you know what I mean. Oh, here's what I just remembered what I was going to say. Me plugging my Etsy shop every chance that I can get. But if you are interested in purchasing some nail stands, I make these. They are in my Etsy shop. I actually just posted a few more. I think it was like a batch of 5 new ones that are up for sale. So if you want to check them out, you can click the link in the description box and it'll take you straight to my shop. I kind of feel like I should have made some that are more similar to these, especially for this time of year. But, you know, I just didn't think about that. Because I really do like, especially this one. This looks so scrumptious. My goodness gracious. So yeah, see, you can definitely see how beautiful these look as you're building them up. I probably will make a few more nail stands similar, as I said, to this little set. Because yeah, just even if it's not up by Valentine's Day, you can still use them year round. They look delicious regardless. I'm working with 2 nails at a time. It's easier to keep up with the layers working in this way. Sometimes you kind of get lost applying the gel and then you forget, like, did I already add the 3rd coat to this or did I not? So any Hoosers, how is everybody doing? I don't use TikTok. I have an account. I've never really posted on it. Personally, I just don't like the velocity in which content is shared, or like, I just don't like the velocity of TikTok. Like it's too chaotic for me personally. I hear my brothers on TikTok all the time, or my nephews, and the way in which they consume the content on there is bonkers to me. I get overwhelmed just listening to somebody scroll through TikTok. But I'm also not someone who is like, oh my gosh, I hope TikTok is actually banned. Because I don't use it, you know? I don't really care. But I know that many other people do care, and many have grown a huge following on TikTok. Thanks to TikTok, rather. And yeah, bro, it sounds like it's also really confusing right now. I guess depending on what is the outcome for TikTok, I may consider jumping on, but I kind of feel like it's disingenuous to start posting on an app that I don't necessarily use or don't enjoy. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, I was really confused as to what the heck was happening, because a lot of people were having meltdowns the next day. It was back on. Apparently there's people that can still access TikTok and post on it, but it's not available to new users. I don't know, dude. I don't know. Yeah, look at this. This is so delicious looking. You know what? I'm actually going to add 4 coats. Never mind. Instead of the 3, I'm going to go for 4. I just think it looks so much better. Alrighty. Do these not look like chocolate? Yum. Because I am going to be using pigment powders, I'm going to need a matte surface so that they do apply on as pigmented as possible. Possible? Goodness gracious, Maida. Alright, so I'm going to use the Zero Matte Top Coat from DVOK and apply it to all of the tips. So I'm actually going to apply 1 coat, but I'm not going to stick them into my lamp right away. I'm just going to let them kind of chill for a second, because I've noticed that sometimes when I apply my matte top coats and stick them in the lamp immediately, I'll get these really pronounced kind of brush strokes, and I don't want to do that. I don't want that. So I kind of let the matte top sort of level out on its own, and then I'll stick them in the lamp to cure. Look at these. Ooh, love these so much. So satisfying. Look at that gorgeous matte. Oh my gosh. Delicious. Nice. We have our little chocolate sticks ready to go. So now it is time for the pigment powders. So I have 3 pigment palettes here. This is the only palette that I have that has a white. So I'm going to start with this one. And then I don't know whether I'm going to be using this pink or the red, because the little charms that I'm going to be sculpting are going to be made with this sculpting gel, extension gel from Born Pretty. And it's this super duper bright red. So I don't want it to necessarily blend with the background. So it might just have to be this pink, you know? Methinks that that is what I'm going to have to do. As I said, I'm going to start off with this guy. This one, I believe I bought off of AliExpress, I think. And I'm just going to use this little blending brush. So the thing about this is that this powder actually has some like sparkle to it. So I don't love that, but you can't really tell. You can't really see it. So I'm basically just going to do an aura in the center. And I like to apply it just by kind of tapping it on the nail, not so much like sweeping it on, but more of like a dabbing motion, if you will, kind of like that. And then with this other fluffy brush, I'm just gonna, I have a napkin over here, and I'm just gonna tap off or brush off the excess, and then go back in with nothing on my brush and just kind of blend everything out a little bit more, like so. Alrighty. So I'm actually going to not file, but just kind of smooth these sides, because if I have any pigment on the sides, oh shit, then my press-ons might chip. Don't want that. So cute. I don't want to mess up my DVOK matte top coat, so I'm just going to layer this one that I have from Koopa Gelfinity. I'm just going to lay that over top and then kind of do what I can to mostly just float it on top, because I don't want to disturb what we've done with the aura, do you know? All right, I'm actually gonna stick it into cure right away, because it was starting to kind of separate, and that's kind of the thing with this matte top. It's not the greatest, but it'll get the job done, you know. But you do have to kind of work with it a little bit. Yeah. See, I don't like this matte top coat. It just leaves everything kind of funny looking. And then I do have to go over it with some isopropyl alcohol to wipe off whatever layer that it kind of leaves behind. It's not a sticky layer per se, not like an inhibition layer, but it does leave like a residual kind of thing that I don't like. Anywho, yeah, dude, I don't know. Anyway, okay, we're gonna work with this. We're gonna figure it out. I'm gonna use my Function of X palette here, and basically gonna follow the same steps. I do wish there was more like pigment on here. Tap off the excess and then brush off. Yeah, dude, I don't know. I think think I'm fudging up a little bit. Hold on. I don't want it all over the nail. Could also blow on it, but I kind of feel like it's not very sanitary. But you gotta do what you gotta do, you know? Alright, I just want these edges to be nice and feathered out. So I'm gonna try to... There we go. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I do like that. Okay. Change my mind. I do like it. I do like it. Fudge it. I'm just gonna have to go over that with... You know what? Should I seal everything in with some base gel? Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm just gonna file again this edge, and I'm gonna seal that pigment powder with my base gel. Oh yeah. Yum. Ooh. This looks heavenly. All right, y'all. So I'm gonna go ahead, speed you through the aura application, and then we'll be back to sculpt the little shapes, the little cherries and hearts, and the bow as well that I'm gonna be applying on these, okay? All right, party peeps, we're back. Maybe I should raise the volume on the mic. Give me a second. Okay, hopefully that is enough. It's kind of late, and I still have quite a bit to do on the set, so let's just get to it. The set is now wiped. I did wipe the press-ons. As you can see, there's no sticky layer. So I am going to get ready to add the cherries to the thumbnail. So I'm going to move these others back and just work on this guy, okay? And I'm going to use this Jelly Nonstick Hand Extension Nail Gel. And it's this really bright red that I very much enjoy. I'm just going to grab some. I'm going to be quite generous because there are 2 cherries that I want to make. So I'm basically just going to roll this big ball, and I'm going to work off of this little thing here. Split it in half. Actually, there we go. That's about equal. So I'm also going to grab my primer and add just a bit. to where it is that I'm going to be placing the cherries. And one is going to be slightly higher than the other. All right, so I'm just going to stack them like that. I do want there to be like a slight space between them, just so they don't turn into a big blob of red gel, you know? And I'm actually going to be dipping my silicone tools into my isopropyl alcohol so that they don't stick to the gel. Oh no. 1 second. All right, I had to stage a quick intermission because my memory card was full. That was annoying. Anyway, I've gone ahead and shaped the cherries. What I basically did was use my silicone tools to shape, to give the general cherry shape. So I just dipped my silicone tool into my isopropyl alcohol, made sure that I was kind of smoothing out the sides. Seeing you still have some of the gel just kind of like touching, and I don't want that. Before they get misshapen again, I'm just going to go ahead and cure them. This is quite a bit of gel, and I'm assuming that I'm going to have to cure it for at least 90 seconds. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. For the stem, I'm going to use this oh my gosh, this is way too bright. I'll just paint it to darken it a little bit, but I'm gonna grab a bit for the stems. Gonna roll out a noodle here. I'm gonna split it in half. Like that. Alright, I'm gonna stick the stem in there. I don't know if I mentioned or not, but I did carve out like a tiny hole so the stem could go in there. Grab this other side. So what I'm doing is basically smoothing out this noodle because there are quite a few little dents that I made. So I'm trying to smooth it out a bit, and then I'm also trying to smooth out wherever I joined the stems so that it can look a bit more seamless. It's probably not going to be perfect, but it'll do. What? Jerry is my little chatterbox. She tends to vocalize whenever she wants my attention. It's really cute, actually. Alright, you know what would help? If I didn't have this up here. Like, what is that? Why did I do that? Like, what if I just remove that? Is that better? That's a little better. Yeah, I kind of like that. Oh gosh, I kind of wish I would have maybe applied the cherries a little bit lower. Unless I make this smaller. Let's see. Well, then it's gonna look funny, you know? Yeah, let me just really quick. Well, no, I got this. Let's get her done. No. Jerry's trying to climb up here. I feel really bad sometimes because I spent quite a bit of time working on videos, and sometimes I allow Jerry to sit on my lap as I'm working. And a couple weeks ago, I think, I was working on a painting. I was working on a craft that I was painting, right? And I was using the acrylic paint markers. I had Jerry on my lap, and I accidentally squeezed a very generous amount of acrylic paint on her little leg. Oh my goodness, I felt like the biggest asshole. I just felt awful. I cried. I was scared that the paint was going to be, you know, dangerous for her to lick, because even though I like chased her all around the house to clean her up, and I did what I could to remove the acrylic paint, she was going to be licking herself clean. Anyway, she's fine. Everything's fine. But I just have to remember that I can't just let her sit on my lap like that anymore whenever I'm busy. You know, it's dangerous. So I'm going to let it level out a little bit, and I'm going to start on the new nail. So the new nail is going to have the heart with the wings behind it. So I'm pulling out the mold. So I got this mold from Temu, and I really like these little wings here. So I'm using this Honey Girl 3D gel and just gonna get a little bit at a time. So whenever I'm using molds, I do prefer to use my silicone tools to press the gel into the mold. And I'm constantly dipping it into isopropyl alcohol because this way it keeps it from sticking to the gel. I'm gonna grab another little piece. Alright, so now I'm gonna flash cure them, but as I'm doing so, I'm gonna bend the mold into itself because I want these wings to look kind of curved so that when I place them over the nail, they're not sticking outward, but just like hugging the nail. Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean. And I'm gonna flash cure from the other side as well. And now they're gonna be slightly curved. Check it out. See? Now I'm going to use some rhinestone glue. And I'm just gonna pop this guy on here like that. Wow. And then just kind of fix it however I want it. Alright, so something like that. And now I'm just gonna flash cure as well. Alright, and I'm gonna grab a bit of the red again. I'm going to put a little bit of primer here. And I'm shaping out the heart. I'm using the silicone tools to round it out because I want it to be more bulbous. Using the conical silicone tool really helps with this step because I can just roll it onto the gel and I'm able to smooth things out. I'm going to give it a cure and add a matte top coat. There we go. I'm going to get started on the bow now. I'm going to add primer where I'm going to be placing the gel. I'm not sure that I mentioned why I do this. It's only to add a tacky surface to the nail, and it keeps the gel from sliding around as I'm working on it too. I'm going to shape out the bow loops and cure them before continuing on. The gel holds its shape pretty well, and it does give you time to work on your shapes, but it does eventually level out, and since I'm already happy with the loops, I feel like it's better to cure now. Now I'm going to grab another bit of gel and add it to the center of the bead. Like this. Okay, so I'm ready to paint the little faces. I'm just going to give my potted gel a good mix with my spatula. And I'm going to use a dotting tool to add the eyes. I'm refining the shape with my super thin liner brush. Y'all, I love this brush so much. I got it in a brush set from Temu. I should have it linked in my description box, but it's super fine and it helps me add the teeny tiniest details to my nail art. I'm basically just going to repeat the same steps because I'm adding faces to all of the cherries and hearts. So I'll just let you watch for a little while. Editing Maida here. I must have accidentally deleted some of my footage because I could not find what I did to finish off the faces on the nails with the pink auras. So I mentioned in the beginning that I had practiced the set prior to filming. So this is that practice set. As you can see, the auras are white on these and also quite subtle. I also hadn't added the stems to any of the cherries, but I just wanted to show you how I painted the little mouths because I got a kick out of painting the teeth. It gave these little guys such character. They're so cute. Faces are on, I want to add some sparkle to the set, so I'm going to apply some base gel and glittery stars. enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the like button because it helps me out so much. If you want to hang out with me in the future, subscribe. I'd love to have you. Next week, I'm going to work on a short nail set, so be sure to turn on the post notifications so that you are notified when I upload. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!